everyone, welcome back into my kitchen, Cooking with Carol Diane. I'm Diane. Today, I am going to make one of my favorites. It's called chicken lettuce wraps. Have you ever eaten them? If you have, you know how good they are. I have waited a long time to make this recipe and basically even to eat it. And I'll explain that maybe in another video. Maybe on my tea time, I'll talk about why it's taken so long for me to have certain foods for me to enjoy. But today I'm going to. So let me show you how easy this recipe is that you can make for a lunch, light dinner if you want. They're actually on any Asian, Chinese or Thai restaurant that you go into. Usually they have them on the menu in the appetizer section. And they're a meal on their own. They really are. So I'm going to make the sauce first, and then I'll show you about the meat, and then we combine it all together. Really, it's not that hard. So let's begin. So what you're going to need is 3 tablespoons any kind of honey. And I just happen to have a brand new one here that I'll open right quick. Gosh, I hope your end of May, it's just flown by. I hope it has gone great for all of you. It has ups and downs for me, but I've been outside doing a lot of yard work. I really have. And that's my walk around my yard videos. Do watch those because I've done a lot in my yard. I really have. Okay, so I will need 3 tablespoons. So let me get a tablespoon here of honey. Put all this in a bowl. So there's 1. Honey makes it sweet enough and yet not too sweet. It really does. You use honey in a lot of different recipes. 2. And 3. And like I said, whatever honey you have, it really doesn't matter. Okay, that's that part. Then you're going to take 1/4 of a teaspoon. I knew I'd get that all over. It's pretty good. 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. That in there. Then you'll need 2 tablespoons of whatever you have for soy sauce. I use this Kikkoman. So 2 tablespoons of that. 1, 2. 2. And then you'll need 1 tablespoon ketchup. Yep. 1 tablespoon, yes. Good helping of it. Don't be skimping around on this recipe. It's too good. 1 teaspoon, on my teaspoon here, of white vinegar. See, that's 1/2, excuse me. You need a teaspoon. There we go. White vinegar. Then you will need 1/2 of a teaspoon, go back to my 1/2 now, of garlic powder. That in there. 1 tablespoon of the oyster flavored sauce. You're gonna find that in the Asian section of your grocery store. You really will. 1 tablespoon. This stuff is good. Makes it really taste good. Again, don't be skimpy on it. Get all of it. That. And 1 tablespoon of what's called the hoisin sauce. I hope I pronounced that correct. Hoisin. Be a big bottle like that. Again, that's over in the everything that you want to do for making Asian food. One tablespoon. That in there. A few little ingredients, huh? And then you're going to need 1 teaspoon of sugar. Make it just a little bit more sweet than the honey. And 1/4 of a cup of vegetable stock. I just made mine like this, and let me grab 1/4 of a cup right quick instead of using the spoons. I want the liquid part in a cup. You can use chicken, beef stock. My particular recipe calls for vegetable stock. So 1/4 of a cup of that. That's it on that part. Yeah. So mix that around until everything is incorporated really nice. You've got to really kind of work with the honey that sits on the bottom of a bowl. Get that all in there nice. And then just set that aside because now we're on to making the meat part of these chicken lettuce wraps. So hang on a minute. Okay, the next step now is to get the meat ready. And what I took was 1 boneless chicken breast. And I started cutting it up just into small, very small little cubes. It's all chopped up, ready to go. That's the first thing. The next thing is to chop up some garden green onions. I'm gonna take these 2 that I have washed and get them ready. Put your skillet, wok, whatever you wanna cook it in. Get it heating up and ready to go. I have mine on about a medium heat. And the little onions need to be small. Why does everything have to be small on these? Because they're going in a lettuce leaf. They really are. You don't want these real big. So you chop all this up. So this is such a tasty little meal, and it is just a meal all itself. It really is. They have it as appetizers, but I'll tell you, to me that's too much to eat. When you're ordering an appetizer and then say you've ordered sweet and sour chicken of a regular lunch or a dinner, it's an awful lot to eat. I usually order these to go. I'll get them, bring them home, and the quantity of the size that they give me at this particular restaurant, my gosh, I can make 2 meals out of it. I can either sit there and have it for lunch, save it for lunch the next day, or I can have it for lunch, and if I like it that well, I'll go ahead and have it for dinner that night. So it does it twice for me. Okay, the reason why I wanted you to chop up the onion first, after you've chopped your chicken, of course, and have it ready. Then take some fresh ginger. It looks like this. Gnarly, and you'll find that over in your produce section. You really will. You need to grate up, like I said, about 1 inch of it here on a grater. Just have it grated. Don't need very much. Ginger is very refreshing tasting, and it's going to go with this. Okay, So we have those two things sitting right here. Now we're going to add some oil in here, and I'm choosing to have the sesame oil. Comes in a bottle like this usually at your grocery store. And the oil that they want for this is about 2 tablespoons. I'm just going to eyeball it. About 2 tablespoons in there. Now I'm going to put in all of my onion and the ginger. If you don't have the little garden green onions, that's okay. You can use a regular onion, and it's your preference on that too. Grab a towel here. If you like just a white onion, you know, you could do it that way. If you like a sweet onion, go ahead and put it in there. Now I'm going to put my chicken in. And again, this is chopped pretty tiny on the pieces, and that's what we want. What else do we put in here? See if I've forgotten anything. The garlic, which I like to buy it in the jars already done. So take a good, I'm going to go a good teaspoon of garlic. And the recipe does call for red pepper flakes. You don't have to put them in, and if you do, I would go sparingly. Just a few in there, unless you like a lot of heat. But really, this recipe isn't a hot dish. It really isn't. It's just so good. It just is. It's good on the palate. Okay, so I hope you can see that the chicken is small pieces, cooking right along. I don't want to fry them. I don't want to cook them, overcook them that way. We just want to cook them until they are done. So you just kind of keep an eye on that. While that is cooking, set all this over here by my sink and get it out of the way a minute. Clean that up a little bit. I think you should always clean as you go. It doesn't make so much work. Later. Later. I'll set all that out of the way. You've got all your ingredients now. Except for what I was using. Okay, it's dinner morning. I had to go to the grocery store because right after I make this, I'm going to make a homemade coconut cream pie. Yep. I wanted something light on that too. And I really do like coconut cream pies. They're easy. I made you a chocolate cream pie. I don't know, a couple years back. You can see that with the Hershey's chocolate. That pie. So good. Really it is. Okay, now they're cooking nicely like this. Real nice. Now when you feel your chicken, I've got just a couple of more of them here that need to be done for me. I like my chicken done. Chicken and pork you really should cook so you know it's done. Most meats. Some meats not so much because you want it nice and tender, but chicken, get it where it's done. Okay. Gorgeous day today. Temperature on the inside thermometer says 82. It's really not that out there. I think it's under that right now. It's just really nice weather for the end of May. It really is. Memorial weekend came and went. I went up to where my parents are buried, and put my beautiful, fresh garden roses on their gravestones. I did. You know, lots of times the plastic ones are fine, but I'd rather have fresh up there of any flowers on their graves. And right now my roses are in full bloom. They're gorgeous. So we did that over the weekend. All right, that's pretty good right there. Now what am I gonna do? I'm gonna turn the heat way down, and now I'm gonna add my sauce over here. And stir it again so I know all those ingredients are well mixed. All right, now with this, you just want it to kind of cook in there. I'll turn it up just a hair more here. Until a lot of that sauce is kind of disappeared, you know, it's soaked into the chicken real well, because you don't want runny sauce on your chicken lettuce wraps. So just let that kind of cook. It'll thicken up, it will. And then I'll be back for the third step. Okay, final step. I put it in a small little dish here. Now you can add this while you're cooking it, or you can sprinkle a few sesame seeds right on top of your dish at the very end, just for presentation. Most of the time I put it in there. I just kind of forgot. Take whatever lettuce that you like, but truly the best is iceberg a head of lettuce because of the crunch. So take your lettuce, be sure and wash it very well. I like to go down like that, give it a good crunch like that, a couple times maybe. What does that do? Takes out the core. Yeah, just takes out the core. Okay, so then take a knife, cut your lettuce in half, all the way in half. Cut that half in half. Now you have quarter pieces, depending on how large your lettuce is. So I'll go ahead and take off that bigger piece right here. Put that on your plate. I'll move this out of the way. And here comes the fun part about a lettuce wrap. So take your bottom piece, whichever piece, and I do recommend letting that cool down. Actually, I'll get one just a little harder here, of your lettuce leaf. You're going to make it where it looks kind of like a little boat, in other words, because you're going to fill this lettuce with your sauce now of your meat. Put it right on in there, as much as you'd like. This is pretty warm right now. I didn't let it cool down. It's pretty warm. And then you just start eating them. Wow. There's really nothing better than homemade. They can make them all different kinds. Iced tea. I've had these different variations. I really have. I've had it very basic like this. I've had it where they shred thin little shreds of carrot that's in there. I've had the sauce where they've added mushrooms. Just depends on what restaurant you go to and how they want to make them. But truly, oh, this meat's so good. I think between the oyster sauce and that other sauce, just all the ingredients mixed together, I think that's what gives it the great flavor. Again, if you like yours a little bit of a kick in there, go ahead and add more of those red pepper flakes. I just don't. I don't. I like them basic like this with a rich, good flavor. And that's what these turned out to be. So now I'm going to finish my lettuce wraps here, have a couple of them for lunch, and then I'm going to go right on over and start making my coconut cream pie, and I'll show you how easy that is. And that's a meal right there. The lettuce wraps ending with a coconut cream pie. What could be better? Come on, let's go make it. All right, I'm on to making the coconut cream pie. Homemade. What I like to do is toast the coconut to begin with. So I actually this morning, I didn't get to the grocery store. I went to Walmart, and this is all they had for coconut. It's fine. It's the great value. There's really nothing wrong with it. So put the whole bag, which this one is 14 ounces of coconut. Break it up. Set your oven to 350. And I'm going to pop these in the oven for, about 5 to 8 minutes, depending on how brown I really want them. I'll set the timer on this. And then I'm going to start the custard. Alrighty, let me grab the coconut out of the oven. I'm going to go ahead and turn everything off. And there's the nice coconut, all nice and browned. Well, golden brown on some edges. Now I'm going to set it over here on my counter and let this cool. That needs to cool way down while I'm on to making my custard, because that's really essentially what you're making is a custard. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need 1.5 cups of sugar. I go ahead and put that in my pan first. Then you're going to need 1 cup of flour. Stick that in there. I kind of mix that around. It needs a little salt, so take 1/2 teaspoon. A half is here. Of salt. And then we're going to take 4 eggs, preferably at room temperature. These are the last of my nice chicken eggs. And I've been very sparingly with them because I like the chicken eggs. I really do. To me, they're just so much better. I think the shells are a little harder on a chicken egg, a fresh one, than store-bought. Just me, I guess. I'm not really sure. You know, I used to watch my mom make this pie. And this is all she did. Then you're going to take 1 teaspoon. I seem to have a fresh bottle of everything this morning, don't I? Actually, we'll go with 1/2. I'll go with 1/2 teaspoon of coconut extract. That also gives it flavor in there. And then it's your choice. Today I just happen to have it. You can use milk or you can use cream of 1/2 and 1/2. And I have the 1/2 and 1/2. Okay, so you need 6 cups of milk or 1/2 and 1/2. Yeah, that is if I can get them open. Things with me here lately. It's a struggle, let me tell you. You know the worst right now in the grocery store for me to get open is those great big jugs of sweet tea. Yeah, they really don't want you to get into that, I guess. Not only the lid is hard to turn, but then they have that seal on it in there. And oh my gosh. All right, here's 2. 4. And I have to open another one here. More cups. And there's my 6. Right there. Now take your whisk and whisk it up a little bit, making sure that you have that sugar on the bottom. Your eggs and the flour is mixing in there well. Turn your heat on to medium. Medium to medium high in there. Like I said, every oven is different. Every stovetop, I think, is different. So I'm doing mine, and I did my other chocolate pie on a medium heat. You don't want to scorch the bottom of the pan here of the ingredients. What does that mean on scorching for young people? Burning. You burn the whole layer down there on the bottom of your pan. And you don't want that. Now the only thing with any custard, whether it's a vanilla custard, chocolate, whatever you're doing, stay by it. Really. You have to stir this constantly. So I will pause my camera while I keep stirring this until I get at the consistency of the pudding part of what I want, which is a thicker consistency. And I'll be right back. Okay, the custard is now thick. Take it off of your burner. It's nice. Now go over here and grab your coconut. And like I said, I just am going to leave the crunchies on the side because that goes on my top part. Now you're going to put the coconut in. Right here. Such good pie. I love a coconut cream pie. I just do. They're good. Okay? Take that and swish that around. Oh, it just smells like heaven. If heaven could smell, that's what it smells like. Just heavenly. Now this makes 2 pies. I went ahead and just got the graham cracker crust 9-inch pies because one I'm going to freeze, one I'm going to eat tonight, and that's okay. So let me grab a spoon and pour this in. Okay, I never have the right spatula when I want it somehow. So now I'm going to pour in the first one pretty evenly and pour in the second one. Look how much this thickens up if you even just leave it for a minute. And because I have so much left over, I really thought this would do 2 pies. That's okay, I'm gonna put the rest of this in a little custard dish just to eat. Yeah. Smooth it out. I will let this completely cool now. And then I'm going to take just regular Cool Whip and put Cool Whip on it, and then I'm going to garnish it with my the toasted part of the coconut. I think it's going to be pretty good. I really do. I'll catch you in a little while. Okay, I'm finishing off my pies now. They've been quite a little while that they've been cooling. So now I just take some Cool Whip, whichever kind you want. Doesn't have to be top brand. It can be the light Cool Whip, whatever you want. Give it a swish around so that it's all nice. Put that on top. I bring mine all the way out to the sides. Such a good pie. It's gonna be so nice. All the way. Now, if you were doing the egg whites and then you put it under your broiler to brown the egg whites on top, that's always good for a coconut cream pie also. That's more of a true homemade one with a regular either graham cracker crust or regular crust. But today I'm pretty busy. I really am pretty busy. I have so much to do outside still of yard work. Okay, so there's the pie part. Now I took the rest of the golden brown of the coconut, toasted, in here. And this is where you just want the prettiness on top. So go ahead and put it all the way around. I like to get the ones that are really darker, golden brown, because it looks so pretty. You can go all over it, you can go just barely the little edges, or like what I'm doing, just kind of the rounded effect makes it look real pretty. That, folks, is my coconut cream pie that didn't take very long at all. My chicken lettuce wraps that I made earlier and the coconut cream pie is this week, anyway, of my video from Cooking with Carol Diane, from my kitchen to yours. I'm so glad you stopped back in to see me of what I make. Happy still May. Go find a project to do. I'll catch you later next time. Bye-bye.